So before I ask for a cross to Swan Reach Imaging, to introduce David Bennett, who's the principal person involved, and also Sean, I believe, is there ably assisting him with their end of the live cross proceedings. Now, David has prepared a bio for me, which I'll briefly read. With the internet commencing operations in Australia in 1990, David's been involved in the design, installation and troubleshooting of internet systems in Australia, Asia and the Pacific Islands until retirement in 2020. He's been a member of ASSA since 2003, including 15 years on the ASSA Council. He's been a member of the team that was awarded the Bill Bradfield Award in 2021 for the e-Callisto project, which you may remember Blair talked about in our first meeting this year, which is sited on his property at Sunnydale, 20 kilometres south of Swan Reach. In 2016, he became one of the 5 founding members of the River Murray International Dark Sky Reserve. As the engineer in the group, he designed, set up and still maintains the fixed site SQM measurement facilities in the reserve, and SQM stands for Sky Quality Measurement, a key source of data to substantiate that that this area was truly dark and deserved its designation as an international dark sky reserve. In April 2025, David was asked to provide advice and install the router network for the under construction Swan Reach Observatory, and the role quickly expanded to become the systems engineer for the observatory, designing, installing and now maintaining all electronic systems at the site. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can hear your acclaim by the microphone I'm holding, but ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome David Bennett.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Great. Look, I'll exit at this stage and leave you to it. You've got screen sharing involved. I'll stop my share, which should put you across to you, and you can do full screen, I trust. I'll just wait in the wings in case anything goes wrong, because we haven't tried this before, but so far it's looking good. Over to you, David.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gerhard, and good evening and welcome to the Swan Reach Observatory. I'll just do the share my screen.
That's Sean in the background, by the way.
Oh.
They're saying hello, Sean.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the observatory. Not imaging.
Okay.
Select screen 2. You need to select screen 2. Just make sure you got it selected.
Where is it? There.
But just in the middle of the screen where it says screen 2. Yeah. And then share.
Share. Yeah. Firstly, a bit of a observatory brief history. After the declaration of the River Murray International Dark Sky Reserve, the DSR committee had the vision of building an observatory and a planetarium within the reserve. After several years, numerous roadblocks, one of our committee members, Professor Don Bursell, decided to approach John George, OAM, who owns several properties in and around Swan Reach, and asked if he'd like to build a research-grade observatory for tourism, education, and professional research. In the latter part of 2024, John George met with ASSA members Andrew Cool and Ken Grant on one of his large rural land holdings, and after a short discussion said, right, let's do it. John's not a person to hum and ha and muck around. When he makes up his mind, it's all full steam ahead. Firstly, Paul Hazy was approached about the design of the roll-off roof observatory, and with Rob Travesky at Swan Reach Enterprises, who designed, fabricated and constructed the observatory. The construction commenced in early 2025, and on the 13th of November of that year, it was opened by the Australian Minister for Trade and Tourism, Don Farrell. Now, some of the features, first we'll look at the observatory and operations. The observatory itself is a 20-metre by 10-metre metal shed with the western half of the building having a software-controlled roll-off roof. The meeting area, which is the other half, is insulated, lined with gyprock, and the telescope room is lined with 25mm foil board insulation, which you'll see a little bit later. Now, we use a scope dome roll-off roof controller coupled with an AAG solar weather station to allow the roof to open when wind level is less than 35 kilometres per hour, no cloud overhead and no rain. When I looked about 2 minutes ago, the roof was saying, no, I won't open because it's raining. It's only lightly raining at the moment. So hopefully it clears up a little bit later and we can actually operate the roof. The dedicated control room is complete with a rather full 2-metre high rack, which is behind me. And it contains all the control, networking, data storage equipment. And down on the bottom, we have two 3 kVA UPSs, which will give us between 20 and 30 minutes of runtime. And it includes enough power to open and close the roof several times. Further down in the middle of the rack, we have recently installed a time machine precision time server that's both an NTP and a PTP server, along with an NTP time display. This gives the NTP gives a timing accuracy of less than a millisecond, and if connecting equipment into it that can handle PTP, our timing accuracy gets down to the microsecond range. We have 2 main computers, one which runs the systems that require continuous operating software, such as monitoring. The other is a high-powered graphics workstation, which runs the telescope control software and imaging systems. Now, all the equipment is powered through a remote controlled power outlets. So we have about 3 units with 8 ports on them. We also have 3 air conditioners, one in the telescope room, one in the control room, and one in the meeting room. Now, these air conditioners are fully remote controlled off-site, so that if we're going to run the telescope, I look up what the temperature's likely to be when we roll back the roof, and so turn the air conditioner on to that outside temperature. We have a range of infrastructure and visitor facilities. The access road into the observatory is sealed, as is the large car park. This is to keep the dust levels down. The building itself is surrounded by a grassed area, and the area that the roof extends out across is all grassed as well. We have security systems, including monitored alarm, high resolution artificial intelligent cameras, both inside and outside. All doors are electronic access by either PIN, facial recognition, key fob, or card. We have a 98-inch display in the meeting area that can duplicate the second control room computer display. And there's another 98-inch display TV located in the restaurant of the Swan Reach Hotel on the other side of the river. So we have a radio link across there. And if we're doing something interesting, the idea is that we'll project it across onto the into the restaurant area of the hotel. The actual observatory is located about 3 kilometres from the ferry on the opposite side of the river from the hotel and the township. Currently, we have 2 telescope operators who live locally, and we're working on a 3rd local person at the moment. Now, the monster, the PlaneWave CDK700. Here's a list of its fairly impressive features, which I'll let you read for yourselves moment. One of the great things about this telescope is it's a 2-port design, so that at the click of a mouse button, the tertiary mirror rotates to align with the other port on the opposite side of the telescope. Each port on this telescope is fitted with a software-controlled focuser and rotator. Our standard operation is to have one port with a camera and the other with an eyepiece. So when we do tours of the facility, people can view objects directly, and then afterwards they can walk back into the auditorium to view some sample of imaging. A mouse click, 5 seconds, the camera is now operational without having to physically change equipment, reline, or rebalance the system. The telescope, each port of the telescope can support up to instruments weighing up to 136 kilos. And although the telescope can slew at 50 degrees per second, we run it at half speed. And even at half speed, when it's moving, it's absolutely silent. You need to be very careful when you're moving the telescope that no one is close by, or otherwise it'll probably end up knocking on the other side of the room. We have 2 camera systems on site. We generally run the ASSA 2400 MC Pro on one side, and then, as I said, the other side we would generally run the eyepiece. The changeover is relatively easy. Alignment is easy with both cameras have the same body, so really the main difference is it's just the sensors. One of the things about this is that both cameras use USB 3 ports, so that means that your standard USB cable length of 3 meters, we run into some problems here. The cable distance from the telescope to the imaging computer is around about 9 meters. So initially we used a small computer attached to the side of the telescope, used it in remote desktop mode, but it came with its own set of problems. So we soon replaced it with an Icron Raven 4-port USB extender. That's providing us now with 4 USB 3.1 ports in the telescope, and it runs over a 10-meter category 6 shielded cable. Here's a short video of the various or clips of the CDK700 install. This is the truck arriving. Now, the interesting thing is the transport insurance on this telescope system stops at this point here. The next lot of insurance for the telescope is when it's mounted in place. So people were a little bit nervous about the lifting into the site. The crane operator, Rob, is the person who built this. This is one of the PlaneWave engineers who did the install. And a couple of ring-ins from Adelaide, which no doubt some of you would recognise. Some of them might even be in the audience.
An international standard observatory is now up and running at Swan Reach, offering astronomers a remarkable night sky experience. The region has international dark sky accreditation and, thanks to a generous benefactor, a world-class observatory to go with it.
Swan Reach, a quiet town set on the banks of a mighty river. Come nightfall, those in the know set up their telescopes for a dark sky ride that takes some beating. One of them's former SA chief scientist, Professor Don Bursell, who took these images at nearby Young Husband. Don was part of an early crew that successfully pushed for dark sky accreditation for the area. They then needed something to do it justice.
An excellent quality research grade optical telescope seemed to be the thing.
They're very rare and expensive, but you can get lucky.
I then met John George, who's actually from Adelaide, but has a long family connection with Swan Reach. And so this sort of rang true for him. And he put the money on the table.
$1.3 million, in fact, for all of this. The state-of-the-art PlaneWave telescope alone costs $500,000.
The fitting of this telescope required the construction of a 3-metre deep concrete foundation to ensure that it takes stable images. And when those images have been taken through some very sophisticated technology, they can be sent to various educational institutions around the world, but also to a big screen in the Swan Reach pub.
Swan Reach is the closest town to what is officially accredited as one of the darkest locations in the world. Astronomers love it, hence the recently built Gateway to the Galaxy apartments. You can thank businessman and philanthropist John George for that too.
I agree that because it was International Dark Sky Reserve, I could see the potential for the area. So I agreed that I would buy a telescope and I would build an observatory.
But how good is this piece of kit, and what is its potential impact on up-and-coming South Australian scientists?
I think best quality optical telescope in South Australia at the present time.
For Swan Reach publican Craig Fromm, All this is a game changer for a town that's normally hitched its star to sheep and river tourism.
The locals are very embracing it. I mean, like I was saying before, like they're looking up more now. I mean, the hype around it is actually drawing people to check out Saturn, check out Mars.
Something you can do now from the pub. But could they compete with Friday night footy? Don Bursel's backing his Celestial Stars.
Those are going higher than
Yes.
the earthbound creatures.
Ron Candelars, 7 News.
Right, back. Okay, future projects. The PlaneWave control software is not what you'd call intuitive, and it's a little bit on the clunky side. So PlaneWave are currently working on a complete new software control suite, which will automate a lot of the actions. But we're currently looking at using Nina in the near future for the control software. One of the problem with the software is the ability to basically quickly start everything up. You go through about 10 pages of turning various screens on before you are ready to start doing things. So we're looking at fully commissioning the CDK700 for automated observing. That's our long-term aim. I've designed the observatory systems for, I suppose you call it lights out operation, but we still have a way to go yet until that becomes reality. It's primarily, though, in the documentation and the procedures area. And as I said, I'd like to automate the startup process more than what it currently is. Yeah, as I said, you go through about 10 pages, the screen pages. Some pages you just need to open. Others you need to select items, and others screens you need to do such things as home the port rotators. So automation is a work in progress. The viewing at the pub is close to being complete with all the equipment installed, the radio link operational. We're just down to final config and testing. The weather permitting, on May the 16th, we're going to be doing the first occultation will be carried out by an ASSA member using the CDK700 with an NTP accuracy of less than a millisecond, storage of tens of terabytes. We're now ready. And if anyone's got a project, please get in touch. 3 weeks ago, we held our first public viewing event, which was very successful. Currently, the website for bookings is a work in progress, along with the term, conditions and pricing for public viewing. Now, there's one other future project that's not on this list because I was only told 10 minutes before we started that I'm not officially allowed to tell people. One of our other original desires was to have a planetarium in the region as well. Well, John George has said, yep, let's go ahead with this. We'll build it next door to the observatory. So watch this space. It should happen. It'll certainly start happening in the next few weeks. He has some plans already drawn up. And as I said before, John is a man with a mission, and it won't be too long before we have a planetarium here.
Can you get it and turn your video off?
That
I just click on the audio symbol. And then we want muted. Yeah.
right. Hopefully we're all back online.
Video still off.
Here we go. Why is that not? I can't get them.
Just click on the video symbol.
Yeah,
Click on it.
very slow. Right.
Welcome, Unique F5.
Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a roller coaster ride for you.
David, just interrupting. Can you maximize?
We'll put it in demo mode.
Oh, sorry, David, I pressed the wrong button. Can you maximize the screen there, or I can try and knock off the black participants that we're seeing as well?
As you can see, there is no whirring of gears, anything like that. We did turn the air conditioner. We just turned the air conditioner off to
Stop raining. It's just cloudy there.
As you can see, the telescope is running at half speed. You can see on the left side, we have one of the TWO cameras, and on the right side, the eyepiece. Right, we'll take the cover off. We're also taking off the shroud. The shroud we generally leave on unless we're operating in windy conditions, because we have noted that it does have a little bit of vibration. Okay, I'll come in closer. This unit has shutters. This is the only noisy part of the telescope. Here we have the ASI 2400 MC Pro camera, complete with a filter wheel. It's mounted on a software controlled focuser rotator. And then sitting down below it, we have a Pegasus unit to provide the power to the cameras. There are also 12-volt ports on the side of the PlaneWave as well, which is can be used as well. This is the other port and the controller. The interesting thing about this is most of the controls, well, actuation, is done by RS-232. And then the base, you've got 8 ports of USB with USB to serial converters. The only Ethernet connected device is this controller here, which controls the motors, which control the shutter. Yeah, so this is the main control box for the CDK700. In there is 12-volt power supply, 10 amps, a 24-volt power supply, and 2 48-volt power supplies that are connected in series, which drives the motors. So it's all direct drive motors. I'm just having a look at the screen to see whether we can open the roof as yet. No, that's not the case. Wandering around the room, you'll see that we've got LED lights, both red and white. They're individually controlled, dimmable. A recent addition is the white screen for doing our flats. All right, and this is the roof control. You see the scope dome unit on the right side, and then down below it is it's a single phase 240-volt to 3-phase motor controller. I'm just going to a bit more light on it. The motor drives a large cogwheel, and there's a comb that runs the full length of the roof to drive the roof. The roof is only driven from one side. Now, between the telescope and the edge, we have a 90mm pipe that runs under the floor and into the concrete where all the control cables, and I have half a dozen Ethernet cables as well for instrumentation on the telescope. We have on all the doors, we have sensors which can be operated by cards, etc. Right, the rack. We have all the Ethernet cables running around. Then the next one down is a 24-port switch. The main router to connect us to the internet. I ended up having to buy a second switch because people forgot to tell me about various other Ethernet connected bits and pieces they wanted. And then below that is network storage, the time machine, which gives us our accurate timing. It also has a 10 meg reference signal output and a 1 pulse per second output as well. You come down to the control computer, or the monitoring computer rather, and then below that 2 UPSs, 3 kVA each, complete with a battery bank as well. Just get it right. Okay, this is our operations room with 2 of the monitors. When you come in the door, come into a meeting area room. We have sliding doors that go to the outside of the world. We have 2 toilets, kitchen, the air conditioning, and the 98-inch television screen.
Welcome.
Right, I'll just swap back to the other computer. Turn that for your.
So, ladies and gentlemen, could we please thank David and Sean in the usual way for an excellent presentation? I trust you heard the applause there. I'll let you guys off now.
No, we didn't hear anything, but thank you very much.
I'll let you guys knock off now for a well-deserved beer, and we'll try and make the usual offer of at least a token of appreciation from ASSA's end get to you in some way. Thank you very much, Sean and David.
Okay, thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.